John Phillips asked her to do it because he said if I respond, he's just gonna argue back with me. Because if you respond to him, he'll probably just give you what you need and be done with it. Because right now, I need the Word document so we can edit it, action the auditor state changes they want, be done with it, do that. So you'll see, I'm gonna respond. I was just kind of giving it, initially I was just angry that they don't wanna respond with
No, I agree.
All right. Could I get everyone to take their seats, please?
I think changed since I've been out.
Mr. Semino, Tammy, don't you dare talk to that guy again. And Mr. Semino's been,
Now I know why we have this.
he's been gone. He's been gone. I'm anxious for Mr. Semino to get back because when he reads all these emails, he's gonna be right in my office going, hear me.
They usually are.
I told you not to talk to this guy.
Okay, you're good with the way everything.
You can find out when you go to Mardi Gras.
All right, if everyone could take their seats, please. I'd like to call the Ravenna City Council Committee of the Whole meeting for February 17th to order. We do just barely have a quorum. Before we start, I wanted to mention that one of our esteemed guests is celebrating a birthday today. I won't say how many years, but Mr. Larry Selenius, a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thanks for spending your birthday with us.
I can't think of any other people you'd rather spend time with, but we're glad you chose us.
All right. Okay, so let's get started with the agenda. First item is approval of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes of January 20th. Does anybody have any additions, modifications? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the 2026 annual paving program. This is from Streets and Sidewalks. Mr. Harper?
Yeah, I believe this went through committee last week. Pretty straightforward, I think.
Do we have the map on the website yet?
I don't believe so,
Okay.
but
When we get approved, we'll try to put it out there for people to see
yes, correct.
whose streets are going to be paved. And
sidewalks.
And sidewalks as well.
The physical map, you're looking for one that's posted online? Is that what you-
Yeah, every year, don't we post it every year showing the different color codings, which ones are
We
getting?
will, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, what is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance. Consent.
Consent agenda? Okay. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the 2026 to 2029 fuel purchase agreement renewal, also from Streets and Sidewalks.
Again, this is nothing new. We do this every couple years with the different entities.
I believe it's the school and the parks.
Portage Park District.
Parks.
We're selling them gas. We just had a conversation about gasoline.
Okay, so this is for
Appropriate.
4 years. I see.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
yes.
Consent.
Consent agenda? Next item is an ordinance authorizing the 2026 citywide tree planting, also from Streets and Sidewalks. Mr. Harper.
Yep, this is just authorized to go ahead and do our fall tree planting through the Shade Tree Commission.
Do we have a map of where those things are going to, or is that more of a discretionary
I don't
based on
believe, I
arborists?
believe there's sites that are picked. There's, in Tree Keeper, it's a software program that shows where all of our city trees are. It also shows where trees have been removed, open sites, and they use that to pick sites. So they try to spread it out through the city.
Yeah, our arborist selects those sites.
Yeah, they're picked by the city arborist.
Gotcha.
Great.
What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Yes.
Consent.
Consent agenda? Next item is an ordinance updating the COLA increases for utility rates. This is from the Utilities Commission, Committee. Mr. Moskin.
Yes, it's cost of living increases for utility rates, which this particular calendar year, it would be 2.8%, that the water will be going up, and this is for wastewater and potable water as well. And this would be adjusted each year depending on that number. It could be 3, it could be 2.5. It's hard to say from one year to the next. And it's, if it's fine, could be just a regular thing that doesn't have to come for us to an actual approval every year, but we will know what's what. I mean, the amount and.
Are there questions or concerns about this ordinance?
I have none.
What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Yes,
Ordinance.
Would you like to place this in the consent agenda?
I'd say yes.
Anybody say no?
I'm good for it, too.
Okay. Next item is an ordinance revising chapters 1046.08, 1046.09, and 1049.10. This is also from the Utilities Committee, and I think it's related to the prior item.
Yes, for the wastewater. Primarily for the wastewater, not actually both. But yes, related to previous.
And these are suggestions for changing the wording to simplify our
Yes.
ordinance.
Yeah, simplify the
The calculation.
calculations.
Okay. Any questions, concerns? Pleasure of the committee?
None.
Would
Ordinance.
you like to place this in the consent agenda?
I'm
Yes,
good for it, yeah.
good.
All right, I'm not sure why this one is separate, but it says ordinance revising chapter 1046.11. That's the way it was submitted.
Okay. This
But I think it's the same kind of deal, right?
for wastewater.
Okay. Questions? What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Yes,
Consent?
yes.
All right, the next item is an ordinance amending chapter 1044.55, permitted and prohibited discharges. Mr. Moskin, this is from Utilities.
Yeah, this is also explicitly from the wastewater treatment. And it's discharging after they are completely finished treating the water that comes in.
All this does is just put it back into the EPA regulation.
Thank
It
you.
just puts our ordinance in line with their regulation is all it does.
Okay.
Okay,
Updating to conform.
just thank you for clarification.
All right, what is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Yes.
Consent.
Next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for water and wastewater chemicals for 2027. Mr. Moskin.
This is something that's required by the EPA for the chemicals to treat the water within both of the departments. And it's something that has to be done just to function.
Okay, questions, concerns? Pleasure of the committee.
Ordinance.
Yes.
And consent.
Consent.
Building that consent agenda. The next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign an MOU with the city of Kent. This is also utilities. Mr. Moskin.
Okay, this is an agreement with them. Right now, there is a water line going to Kent. It's an agreement that if we do need assistance with them for water coming from them to here, or the other way around, going from here to there, if it's actually needed, then the water can flow either direction by opening different valves.
Yeah,
That water line's been there for quite some time, just in case this might.
And my understanding, go ahead.
Yeah, from my understanding as well, this is a memorandum of understanding to agree to collaborate on a deal, not the actual end deal itself. So this just is just setting expectations for that
That's correct.
Yeah,
one. Okay.
so it's like negotiating and seeing what we need to do there.
But everything's in place, yes. Maybe I went too far with explaining it.
Well, you're
did a
just
good
hoping to
job.
get into the agreement part, but it's nice that we have a backup with, in a partnership arrangement with Kent that we're continuing.
All right. What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
And consent.
Consent agenda. All right, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an electric aggregation agreement. This is from utilities. Now, I don't believe this was in your committee,
No.
but it came up,
This is new.
after that our broker was recommending we move quickly to secure what he believes is a pretty good rate, correct, Mr. Content?
Yes, he requested these proposal results to us through Dynegy. We're presently with Dynegy right now. That contract with Dynegy ends up May 31st of 2026. If we decide on going with one of these price options here, that would pick up for June of 2026 through whatever contract term you would select.
And he's recommending the 25-month term at
He is at this point. Yes,
0.0941.
exactly.
Kilowatt hour.
Which is more than our current rate, correct? Isn't it
It is.
0.08 something?
Yeah, 7.83.
Okay. So,
0.07.
since this wasn't mentioned, it wasn't discussed at the committee level, does the committee of the whole feel like it wants to point to the actual term at this point, or do you want to wait, leave it as a decision at the March meeting or whenever it's voted on?
I think I agree with that. I feel like there's a small amount of us here. I think that I would like to have a better conversation at the March meeting before we determine which to go.
I mean, it is the second cheapest pricing option that's available based on the terms that have been submitted. I think we could say that we recommend it as well, and then just get a final decision then, but it does make sense for.
I mean, obviously, the shorter term runs the risk of it going up
Volatility
at the
later.
end of that. If it did go up during the term, we would be locked in for a little over 2 years. So, but what I'm asking is whether you not want to, what do you want to pick a term now, which in the recommended term is the longest, 25 months, or do you want to have the ordinance crafted such that we can use, and I assume these rates are good until our March meeting?
That's my assumption, yes.
Yeah. So we can keep this in the packet, and then the larger body, when we have 3 more people,
Yeah,
can have a discussion and decide which term to pick.
correct.
Is that the will of the committee here?
I'm willing to work with that, yeah.
And because I believe that we shouldn't put this off a long time, like sometimes it's been done in the past years, and then we end up getting stuck. I believe that,
No, I don't, Paul, I don't think we need to put it off, but I also think it would be nice to have more folks here to help make that decision.
well, what I'm referring to is not putting it off for another month, 2 months,
Sure.
something of that
No.
nature, which I've seen over the years.
Yeah, we'll move it forward, but leave the actual decision of which term to council.
Correct.
So
With the
we are
talk
so we're
of
addressing.
energy prices going up, I see locking in for a long term. Longer term would be better, but we can discuss it.
Yeah, so I like the 25 months, but those are my thoughts right now.
Yeah, and it would be a different situation, like the 13-month would be more interesting to me, or if there was more like federal subsidies in investments and reducing the cost of energy through different means and such. But since that doesn't seem to be a changing technology in the near future for the investment, I think we might be best off locking in for the long term, but we can have that discussion at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it the will of the committee to move this on?
Ordinance,
with that?
but non-consent. That's what I
Right,
would
we
suggest.
can't put it in the consent agenda unless we pick a term tonight.
Correct.
All right, so good to move this on as an ordinance?
Yes, and we can make the final decision and do something in 2 weeks.
Okay. The next item is an ordinance authorizing a salary increase for the HR director. This is from the Personnel Committee. Dr. Calfee is not here tonight, but during his committee meeting, we did discuss our HR director is a paid consultant, and the contract term is is being renegotiated to increase the cost of her contract from 95,000, the proposal is to 100,000. And I think typically these run 2 or even 3 years.
That
So,
was actually my only question that came to mind, was how long was the term? So thank
well,
you.
there is, the contract that you have with you does not specify a term, it just says it renews every year unless we choose to, and there, you can end the contract, either side can end the contract, I think within 30 days' notice or something.
Okay, but.
I'm just saying typically, this doesn't come back for at least 2 years, 3 years. So if you're thinking about the increase, and you're thinking about cost of living, this is pretty modest. If this was if it doesn't come back for another 2 years, for example. Or 3. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about this ordinance? What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Yes.
I'd like to place this in the consent agenda.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No?
let's keep it off.
Okay, I was going to say yes, but
Okay, the next item is an ordinance authorizing the execution of then and now certificates. This is from the finance director. Just as a note, we didn't have a finance committee meeting this month. This would have been the first month we had it. But on committee night, Ms. Lodato wasn't here. She's the member. I knew that Dr. Calfee wouldn't be here tonight, and as it turns out, Ms. Lodato's not here either. So, and there's only one item.
Right.
So I figured we'd do what we normally do and just put it on the committee of the whole.
Yeah, typically, we don't pull this report until.
Right, and there wasn't the information for the
closer,
committee
to
night.
have. So.
But do you want to explain what this is, Ms.
So
Lawrence?
the list is a little bit larger this month, if anybody noticed that. I know Mr.
Yeah.
Calfee would have noticed. A lot of that comes the beginning of the year because you have a kind of a break between December and January where we are closing the books and people can't put in their POs, but yet there's a lot of renewals of things at the beginning of the year that require that PO. So that's what makes this list a little bit longer this year, or this month, I mean.
Any
There are.
question? I'm sorry.
That's okay. There are a few on here that were emergency things that we
No,
had
I've seen
happen.
that, yeah. Water main repairs and,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Can you speak to the Smart Shopper administration fees? I'm not familiar with that platform.
That is, the Smart Shopper is a program through Medical Mutual that we're using that will help reduce, hopefully, the costs of some procedures like blood draws, lab work. People can shop for options to go to different locations to get things at a reduced rate.
Okay,
There's an app that they can go on and shop for those things.
gotcha.
All right. Any other, excuse me, any other questions? All right, what is the pleasure of the committee?
ordinance, consent.
Consent agenda. Okay, and then we do have some additions based upon our earlier planning committee meeting. So the next item is to authorize the purchase of a Kubota tractor, and this is from planning, Ms. West.
This is, we have a 26-year-old tractor that they're going to be trading in. This is going to be used out at the Sunbow property. So the total cost of the new tractor would be $37,494.91. And this would be for Parks and Rec.
I believe part of this needs to be appropriated.
Yes, because they're seeking additional monies.
so will this be left at the property in the building or transported back and forth?
I would assume it would be,
I don't think it's been formally decided, but it does make sense that we would
Yeah.
maintain it on that site.
I know that it would be practical sense, but I didn't know if what the decision was.
They may end up using it on some of the other properties too, so I would speculate that it would travel a little bit, but probably live there for most of the time.
That
Okay,
is my understanding also.
yeah.
Same.
Any other questions? What's the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance,
Ordinance,
consent.
I'm good for consent too.
All right, the next item is a request for authorization for the mayor to offer $20,000 to purchase a parcel from First National Bank and Trust. This is from planning.
This is the parking lot right next to the IC Hall. that is for sale. The city is looking to possibly utilize this for additional parking as well as for the fire department for some trainings and things that they need to do. We don't have a lot of parking back behind the building as much as we think we do. Chase takes up a lot of that parking, even into our lots behind police and fire buildings. So we did get it appraised before we decided to do anything. So this is just asking for the mayor to make an offer on that.
So what was the,
All the information was in your packet, but it appraised for about $30,000. But Bob, I wrote everything down so you don't have to do it. But that doesn't account for a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a pole in the middle that would have to be removed. The electrical's kind of shoddy on that would have to be removed or replaced. The asphalt would need resurfaced and restriped. Some of the grates for water drainage possibly would have to be adjusted with the asphalt resurfacing. And then there's some bollards that are along the building where the IC hall is that need to be removed because they're not safe. So there, as soon as we would get the property, there would be about $15,000 of work that would need to be done to keep it maintained, to make it so where it was safe.
Safe and usable, yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I listened.
and then,
Will that pole be removed or just updated?
I would remove it and put a new pole in along the perimeter somewhere. It's not in a good spot in the middle of the park.
I see.
That sounds like how it may have been damaged, was being in the middle
I
conceivably.
was just curious.
It was an afterthought, probably. We need a poll here.
and then my question is, I'm not saying anything against this, but afterwards, will that be open to anyone to park there for any activities be going on at the building that's next to that?
I know that, when we discussed, there's a possibility, so obviously for police, fire to be able to park there, for city hall to be able to park there, so it'd be for the city.
Yes.
And in the future, possibly a fence if needed, to be able to keep it, was mentioned, to be able to keep that space safe and for city use only. But we were waiting to see if we were even able to get the property first before we move forward with any decisions like that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or concerns?
Do we know how many potential parking spaces might be resultant from the improvements? Ballpark kind of figures?
I was thinking there was 30. I counted them, but I'm thinking it's in it.
I think it would depend on how you striped it. Yeah.
That was my only question.
All right. What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance and not consent.
Not consent, okay. All right, so our last item is an ordinance placing a temporary moratorium not to exceed, what was it, 6 months?
Yes.
6 months on the issuance of new adult-use cannabis dispensaries.
So we had put a moratorium in place when the recreational and medical stuff all started to unravel. We were really truly waiting for the state to make some decisions on what they wanted things to look like. Not sure that the state will ever make permanent decisions. However, now we have the opportunity to really take a look at ordinance and see what we need to have in place so that it could be a nice balance for our community. So currently, the moratorium states no additional adult cannabis use and no use in the downtown area. So we're going to continue that for 6 months while we look at ordinance and kind of see how we can put that into play in ordinance.
And this does not affect existing.
Correct.
Okay, any other questions or concerns? What is the pleasure of the committee?
Ordinance.
Ordinance.
I'm good with consent for
I'm
this.
good with consent too.
Okay. Well, that concludes our items on the committee of the whole. I will adjourn the committee of the whole.
But
I'm sorry?
management
Oh,
comments?
well, we usually have management
Not for
update.
committee of the whole.
No, not for that.
Well, this,
Well,
yeah, but this
do you
is
have the
separate.
management update?
It's a 5 o'clock meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, we had that meeting at 5 o'clock.
okay.
I'll make a motion
I
to
didn't-
adjourn.
Yeah,
I'd like to second that
all in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. I suppose we could just keep rolling, right? All right, so now I'd like to call to order the special meeting of City Council for February 17th. Ms. Greger, could you read the announcement, please?
You are hereby notified that a special meeting of the Ravenna City Council has been called for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 at 7 p.m. or immediately following the Committee of the Whole meeting, which begins at 6 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss and/or act upon Ordinance 2026.02, restricting parking on South Meridian Street and allowing public to comment on Ordinance 2026-02.
And could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Kelfi. Ms. West.
Here?
Mr. Moskin.
Yes.
Ms. Lodato. Mr. Maravich.
Here.
Ms. Michael. Mr. Harper.
Here.
I'd like to make a motion to excuse absent members.
I'll second that.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so this is simply designed, I know it says that we could act on this ordinance, but I think the idea was to leave it for a March vote for a third reading. But is there anyone here present tonight who would like to speak about this ordinance regarding the restriction of parking at Meridian Street? I believe, is it from Riddle to
Between
Harris.
Riddle Avenue and Harris, between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Right. I know we don't have a big group of people here tonight.
Both
On
sides.
the east and west side.
I think it said that.
Yeah, south of Meridian. It
Yes.
should be in the title
Nobody wishes to speak to this item? If not, then I will simply ask for a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
there.
Okay, we are adjourned. Our business is done for tonight. Thanks, folks, for coming.